Welcome to the show, Watson.
Thank you, Keith.
How many people are there in your congregation? It's not huge, but it's a decent-sized congregation.
Yes, it's roughly about between 50 to 60 people.
Okay, okay. And most of them born in Australia or some in Samoa, just to get a picture of that?
Some of them in Samoa. Most of the young generation were born here in Australia.
So would you say that it's a carrier of the culture for the younger people? Because I know when I come and speak there, some of the songs are in Samoan, some prayers. Is that important?
Yes, it is. Most of the young generation have a difficulty with the language. So we use bilingual when we do our services, both in English and in Samoan. We use the Samoan language for the older generation and then the English for the younger ones. But it's important that we keep that going so that they can feel that they're part of the church as well, and knowing that they understand what's being said, what's being preached. But also it's important to keep that cultural link with the elderlies in the church. Yeah.
And family is so important, isn't it, in your culture?
Our family is very important in our culture. As you know when you come to preach that, we always have that respecting the elders, respecting your parents, and so always we learn from them. They're the ones who pass the culture on to us, the traditions and so forth, into the younger
I was
generation.
nearly rude when I said family and food are important when I come to your congregations, because that's so much a feature of what you do together. You enjoy eating together and playing together and having events together.
Yes, that's right. Food is a very important part of the fellowship when we're gatherings, yes.
Tell us just a little of Samoa. Samoa is a place that you were born, but you moved to New Zealand, like many people do. How long does it take to drive around, for example, Samoa? I mean, are we talking about...
It will probably take a whole day, a full day to drive around the island. It's not a fairly big island, so yeah, roughly a day.
Do many people go to New Zealand for work reasons? Is that why people go there?
Many go there for work, of course, for the education as well, for the children. And just to seek a better future for their families. Yes.
And what things matter to you in church life? I mean, you talk about the young people what are the things that are most important about being a Samoan church for you?
Knowing that the children of the younger generation, we have that link with the elderlies, as I said, but also to maintain the Christian way of life, which is very important. Of course, the parents want their children to be involved in the church and the ministry. Many of them have been in church for many years, so they want that continuation with their children and grandchildren as well. So it's important that we keep that intact. And
affirming family sits at the heart of all of that, doesn't it?
That's right.
Your young people have enjoyed sharing with us, and your choir, not only at Easter, but also last Christmas too. You shared with us at Christmas time in a recently recorded programme.
Yes, they love to sing, as you know.
Yeah.
Worship is at the heart of our ministry. We love to use the talents in our voices to praise and to sing. So whenever there's an opportunity for us to be part of an event at Wesley Mission, we would love to be part of that, just to praise and to use what we have.
Now, away from the pulpit, you used to do rugby, didn't you?
Yes, I did play a lot of rugby in my school days.
Yeah.
And then after I left school, I played club rugby.
Yeah.
Rugby was a very important part of my life. When I left school, I had a lot of spare time. So it kept me out of the street, and it kept me busy. So if I wasn't involved in rugby, I would probably...
What position did you play?
I played half.
Oh, yeah?
Half back most of the time.
Yeah. And tell us, did any... The work you do now as a minister, has your earlier life informed the way that you do ministry?
I had no idea I would be a minister when I started. My road to being a minister was quite a rough one. My parents, who were very much involved in the church, as many of my family members were, but it took me a while to get to where I am today. I had a rough upbringing. My past was, a lot of things occurred, but I never had any idea that I would be leading a church or to be involved in.
So there's a real sense of God's call in the middle of all of that.
Yes, it certainly was.
And the congregation doesn't meet like many of our congregations in the Wesley Centre. It meets in the suburb of
Ashbury.
Ashbury in Sydney. So people who come from that Samoan background and perhaps don't go to church, there's a place where they can share it, isn't it?
Yes, there is.